What's going on, everybody? So you'll notice this is a very different setup for me. I'm currently filming off of the computer where I do my editing, and the reason for that is this video is going to be a rather quick one. Nintendo had a presentation last night where they unveiled a lot of new details about their new console, the Nintendo Switch, so I just wanted to give you a quick rundown of everything we saw at this event and all the news that came out of it, so I didn't really feel like I needed to do my usual setup with my DSLR camera and all that stuff. I was going to do my most anticipated movies of 2017 video tonight, but then this happened, so I want to talk about it. So anyway, let's get to it. Here is everything you need to know about the Nintendo Switch. So the Nintendo Switch is officially releasing on March 3rd, 2017 at a retail price of $300. I know a lot of people were speculating that it was going to be $250, but now we have the official price. And I don't think $300 is really that bad. I think that's how much the Wii U was going for when it originally came out. And I thought this was very interesting. Online service will be free as a trial period after launch, but then it's going to be a paid service in the fall of 2017. And they said there's going to be specifics on that later, but that's kind of disappointing. It's not surprising to me, and it shouldn't be to a lot of other people. I knew this was going to happen. Nintendo was really late to catch on to the whole online paid-for service thing. But I thought they were going to be like the one company that keeps it free, you know? But just like PlayStation did with PSN, of course they're going to use every opportunity they can to get money off of it. And it just doesn't surprise me that we're going to have to pay for online stuff in the future for Nintendo products. Also, unlike the Wii U and the 3DS, which were region-locked systems, this is going to be a region-free system. And of course, you already know the anatomy of the system and the playstyles if you already watched that video from a while ago. You can take it on the go when you attach the Joy-Con controllers to the console, and you can also play it off your TV when you attach the console to the dock. Tabletop mode is where you can play on a table or a desk or something, but for that you need to connect the controllers to the Joy-Con grip. And for multiplayer stuff, you simply just turn the Joy-Con controllers horizontally, and then you can play games like Mario Kart with a friend, which is still really cool to me. I know we already saw it a while ago, but I just think that's awesome. Battery life varies depending on what game you're playing, but apparently it's going to range anywhere between 2.5 hours to 6 hours, which is really interesting. That makes me think, how big is this new Zelda game? Like, the fact that this console can only run for 2.5 hours of battery life, that's relatively a short amount of time. So I'm guessing that like bigger open world games will take a lot of battery power, and that smaller games like some of the launch titles they're releasing will not take as much, and then you can have it for like 6.5 hours. But I don't know, we'll have to see when this thing comes out. But of course you can charge this thing while playing using a USB cord and the AC adapter, and it will come with portable batteries if you're going for the on-the-go approach. Also, something I found really interesting is that the analog stick on the right Joy-Con controller is going to have an NFC reader for Amiibo compatibility, which is interesting. I didn't know if they were going to continue this, but of course they are. I'm not really one for Amiibo compatibility with my games. If you notice in my usual setup, I have all those Amiibos behind me. They just sit there. I mean, I just use them as collectibles. I don't really use them in games like Super Smash Bros. And some of the Zelda games. But for those of you who do use Amiibos in your games, this will be how you use them in the Nintendo Switch. Also, the left Joy-Con controller has a capture button for if you want to take screenshots while playing your games. And in the future, it will capture video. Obviously, they're going for the same approach that PlayStation did with the DualShock 4 when they integrated the share button on the controller. I don't think we've ever seen this with a Nintendo console, and the fact that they're going with this, even though it's not very innovative since other companies have done it, it's just interesting to see this functionality in a Nintendo system. One version of the console comes with a neon blue and red version of the Joy-Cons, and they will also have a strap similar to the one on the original Wii remote for playing games where you just use the Joy-Con controller. Also, the Joy-Cons have a very small camera built into the front of them, which can tell how far away your hand is from it while you play games, which is supposed to create different ways of gameplay, and that's pretty cool. But I don't know what kind of games would use that functionality. I'd have to see it in action. They showed off the new HD Rumble functionality with the demonstration of these controllers having the ability to give you the feeling of ice cubes in a glass. And it can also convey the feeling of water filling a glass. It's cool that this controller can do that, but I don't understand the relevance to what kind of games would use that functionality, but it's just interesting to see. 1-2 Switch and ARMS were the first games that were revealed, and these are basically just typical launch titles that are designed to get you used to the Joy-Con's functionality. These both look somewhat fun. I can't imagine I'll be playing a lot of them, but I'll definitely check them out. And next we got the reveal of Splatoon 2, which is supposed to release summer 2017. Yes, it does look exactly like the original. There's not a ton of innovation here, but it does look like it will be introducing some new mechanics, weapons, and battle stages. And I love Splatoon, so I'd be willing to go jump back into this game. And then they showed off that brand new 3D Super Mario game for this console. Super Mario Odyssey, which I am insanely excited about. It looks like it's taking its innovation a lot from Super Mario Sunshine and Super Mario Galaxy with its open sandbox kind of world, and it just looks really great. The graphics look beautiful. I love the look of the level design. Putting Mario in the real world is a very interesting concept to me, and this will be releasing in time for Holiday 2017. So we do have to wait a little while for it, but it looks great and I'm really pumped. Then a new Fire Emblem and Xenoblade game were announced, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and Fire Emblem Warriors. Both of these are obviously in the very early stages of development since we really only got a logo from Fire Emblem and a little bit of footage from Xenoblade, but still not that much. But both of these games have my interest, they just don't quite have my attention yet. Then they wanted to put some emphasis on the third-party support that they're getting for this system, and they started off with Square Enix. They started off by showing us a really cool-looking 3D side-scroller RPG called Project Octopath Traveler, and this thing looks really pretty, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. Todd Howard did come out and talk a little bit about Skyrim coming to the Switch. We all knew this was happening, but I just love that Bethesda is working with Nintendo. These are two great game companies coming together. And taking Skyrim on the go in a handheld way seems kind of interesting. Then we had EA come out and talk about the new FIFA game that they're bringing to the console. They're obviously not in a really close relationship with Nintendo right now because that's all they had to talk about, and it was very brief. But hopefully we will be seeing more games developed by EA for this system in the future. In terms of the product configuration, this thing's going to come with the Nintendo Switch dock, the console itself, which is just the screen, the Joy-Con controllers, the Joy-Con grip, the Joy-Con wrist straps, an AC adapter, and an HDMI cable, which sounds great because when the Wii U came out, I remember it having like 10 cables and it was really annoying. So I'm glad they're just keeping it simple with an AC adapter and an HDMI cable. The Pro Controller is also going to be available separately, and apparently it's going to run you about $70. I don't know if that's worth it. The design is very basic, and it might work well with some of these games, but I just don't know. It's too early to assume. And at the very end of the presentation, my boy Reggie, I love that guy, and Shigeru Miyamoto came out and talked a little bit about The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and they gave us a new trailer, which is literally one of the best video game trailers I've ever seen. And also, we finally got a release date on this thing, which is set for the Switch's launch date, March 3rd, 2017. Finally. I'm excited out of my mind for this game. This was probably the most interesting thing that they showed off at this presentation. Just everything looks incredible about it. The art style, the combat, the direction, the voice acting. I love the fact that every character is being voice acted except for Link. I think that's really interesting. The story looks really cool, and I just can't wait for this game. And that was about it. That was pretty much everything that was talked about at this presentation for the Nintendo Switch. What are you guys most excited about for this console? Let me know in the comments below. Also, I'll be doing some videos in the next couple weeks, so you can look forward to those. By the way, I apologize for this random setting I'm in. I'll definitely be getting back to my original way of shooting my videos in the next couple days. Until next time, I'm Fletch. Thank you guys so much for watching this. You can like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.